Hello and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mr. Sleepy. For the next while, I want you to sit back, get cozy, feel safe, and allow my stories to make you super sleepy. My speaking style is designed to help you relax. Please do not listen to this recording while driving, operating machinery, or any tasks that require you to be fully alert. Randolph's days were simple, and his nights were long. He lived alone in a small, quiet town where nothing much ever happened. A place where the winds were gentle and the trees whispered soft secrets, and the streets lay still beneath the glow of the street lamps. Randolph found peace in this rhythm, the quiet unfolding of time like a gentle lullaby. His life, much like the town, was predictable, and he liked it that way. One evening, as the sun was setting behind a soft veil of purple clouds, Randolph sat on his porch, sipping a cup of warm tea. The air was still, except for the occasional rustle of leaves in the breeze. The golden light of dusk settled over everything, casting long shadows that stretched like lazy cats across the ground. As he sat there, his eyes drifting in and out of focus, something caught his attention. A glimmer. A tiny flickering glint, barely noticeable at the edge of his vision. He blinked and slowly turning his gaze to the old wooden floor of the porch. There, just by the edge of the steps, was a small coin, gleaming softly in the fading light. He leaned down, his fingers brushing against the cool metal, and he picked it up. It was an old coin, worn smooth by time, yet its surface shimmered with an almost otherworldly light. Randolph smiled to himself, pocketing the coin. He didn't think much of it, just a lucky find. But that night, as he lay in bed, his mind drifted back to it. The way it had glimmered in the evening light, as if calling to him. Slowly, his thoughts dissolved into dreams, and Randolph slept. The next morning, Randolph went about his usual routine. He rose with the sun, ate a quiet breakfast, and stepped outside to water his small garden. The air was cool and fresh. The world still was waking around him. As he bent down to inspect his flowers, something caught his eye once more. Another coin? This time, nestled in the soil beside the roots of a blooming rose. Randolph knelt, brushing the dirt away to reveal the coin's surface. This one was different, newer, shining bright and clean. He chuckled softly, slipping it into the pocket beside the one from last night. 2 coins in less than a day. Curious. But nothing more, he told himself. But as the days passed, the coins kept appearing. At first, they were small, scattered in unexpected places. One beneath his pillow when he woke, another tucked into the fold of a book on his shelf. He found a crumpled bill inside an old jacket pocket he hadn't worn in years, and another tucked into the crease of his couch. There weren't large sums, just a few coins here and there, but each one felt as though it had been deliberately waiting for him to find. The more he discovered, the more the town seemed to change around him. Time seemed to slow, the air becoming thicker, heavier, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The sound of his footsteps on the pavement became softer, muted. The trees whispered more urgently, their leaves swirling in patterns that danced at the edge of awareness. Randolph's life began to feel like a dream, suspended between waking and sleeping, where nothing was certain and everything was possible. It was on one such hazy afternoon, when the sky was the color of tarnished silver, that Randolph found something different. He was cleaning out an old drawer, dusting off forgotten knickknacks and trinkets, when his fingers brushed against something soft, like silk or velvet. He pulled it out, and there, wrapped in the folds of an old scarf, was a small stack of bills, tied neatly with a ribbon. The money was crisp, untouched, as though it had been placed there moments before. But he knew that drawer had been locked for years. Randolph stared at the money, feeling a strange calm settle over him. It no longer surprised him, finding money in these strange places. It felt natural, as if the world had always been filled with hidden treasures, and only now he began to notice. The coins and bills continued to appear, and with each discovery, Randolph felt the world around him grow quieter, softer. Time seemed to blur, the days blending into one another in a slow, rhythmic cadence. His footsteps became lighter, his movements fluid, like he was walking through water. The town itself seemed to exhale, as if it too was slipping into a gentle, endless sleep. One evening, as Randolph sat by his window, watching the sun set in shades of amber and rose, he noticed something unusual. A small envelope, plain and unmarked, resting on the windowsill. He hadn't placed it there. He was sure of that. But somehow it felt familiar, like it had been waiting for him all along. He opened it slowly, his fingers brushing against the smooth paper. Inside was a single bill, folded neatly. This time, it wasn't just money that caught his attention. There was a note, written in delicate looping handwriting. You are beginning to see. Randolph's heart beat softly in his chest, a slow, steady rhythm that seemed to match the pulse of the world around him. He didn't understand the note, not fully, but a part of him knew that something had shifted. The money, the strange dreamlike quality of his days. It was all connected, threads weaving together in ways he couldn't yet grasp. As the days turned into weeks, Randolph continued to find money in the oddest places. In the hollow of a tree, in the folds of his curtains, even tucked behind the mirror in his bathroom. But now, each discovery brought in a deep sense of calm, as if the world itself was speaking to him in a language older than words. The note's message lingered in his mind. He was beginning to see. To see what, he didn't know. But the thought filled him with a quiet, soothing sense of wonder. The money, the soft whispers of the trees, the slow, steady beat of his own heart, they were all part of a larger pattern, a hidden rhythm that guided him through his days. One night, as Randolph lay in bed, his thoughts drifting like clouds on a slow-moving river, he felt something shift. A soft breeze stirred the curtains, and with it came the faintest sound, like the rustling of paper, or the soft clink of coins. His eyes, heavy with sleep, fluttered open just enough to see a faint glimmer in the moonlight. There, at the foot of his bed, was another envelope. But this time, Randolph didn't reach for it. He didn't need to. He already knew what it would say. With a soft sigh, he let his eyes close once more, the weight of sleep pulling him deeper, deeper into soft velvety dark. The world around him faded. The soft sound of the trees and the wind becoming a gentle hum like the murmur of a distant lullaby. And as Randolph drifted off, the last of his thoughts slipping away like sand through his fingers, he realized that he had begun to see. The money had never mattered, not in the way he thought it did. It was the discovery, the gentle unfolding of hidden things, the slow hypnotic rhythm of life that had always been there waiting for him to notice. In the end, it wasn't the coins or the bills that changed him. It was the quiet, the stillness, the soft, unspoken magic of the world around him. And with that thought, Randolph let go, sinking into a deep, peaceful sleep where the only sound was the soft whisper of the wind and the slow, steady beating of his heart.